Hi ladies, this is Ashley Kay, and this week I'll be talking to you about how to feel more important in your relationship. I think as women, we have a built-in detector for when we don't feel important in a relationship. We're very sensitive to a man who isn't making us feel safe, making us feel secure, making us feel loved, respected, and ultimately important in our relationship. So a lot of women I know, we tend to not want to speak up about certain things because we don't want to come across naggy or like a bitch or complaining a lot, things that we know men don't like, especially when we really respect our man and we don't want to upset him. We don't want to cause an argument, then we feel like, well, I don't really want to speak up about this because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. It's absolutely normal when you feel this feeling of not being important. Okay, so I don't want you to feel bad, okay? I don't want you to feel bad when you find yourself emotionally blowing up in front of your man because your needs aren't getting met. Now, the reason I say that is because some men, because they don't understand women, they don't understand how women's emotions can really take over our whole body and our whole world because we're built on emotions. They will lash back and try to make you feel guilty for having those feelings and doing anything that disrupts him, basically. So understand when guys do that, it's because they don't get us. They don't understand how our emotions work. So please do not feel bad if you've ever blown up in front of a guy, had a go at him because he was, because the feeling you had, if you really dig deep inside, it's because you don't feel important. He doesn't make you feel important. And it's really, really key that you know, first of all, what the underlying problem is. When are we triggered? Okay, for most women, usually we're going about just fine, in a relationship with a guy, everything's good, and then something will trigger us. Either he says something or does something. Usually it's linked with an event. Okay, so for example, if your guy will spend a lot of effort, time, money on having his boys' night outs, going out, having big trips with his mates, maybe every weekend, every other week, whatever it may be, but he will not spend the same effort to take you out, okay, to make you feel just as good, to spend time with you. That's when you probably will be triggered. Another example could be if he spends thousands of dollars on a toy for him only, and yet he complains about spending $50 on something for you, that's also going to trigger you, okay? So usually it's going to be a certain event where you feel, okay, it's going to come up, it's going to bubble up inside, you will feel this tightening in your stomach that something's not right, okay? We start to feel this, like something, he's putting an unreasonable amount of attention, money, effort into something else, but he won't do it for you. And it's almost like we just naturally, intuitively feel that and know something's not right. You may assume, lots of women assume this, I used to think this too, that it's linked to the thing. It's the thing, the event, and you need to change the thing. You need to make him stop doing, that thing and then give you more attention. So for example, if he's spending more time with his mates, more time working, more time somewhere else, but not with you, then what a lot of women will tend to do, and I've done this in the past, is to cause a big argument, cause a big issue of the fact that he's spending more time doing the other thing. You want him to stop doing the other thing and spend time with you. Okay, we naturally assume it's the thing. It's always tied to that thing, whatever the thing is. It'd be normal to think that, but it's absolutely false. Okay, it's not that thing. You may think it's, because it's tied to an event and it's the event that triggers you, then you just need to change his behavior around that event. And the way you try to change that behavior is you make a big deal about it, big fuss and deal, and make it really negative for him to do whatever that thing is. So you change his behavior. Okay, I have tried to do this in the past. So one example in the past is with one of my exes. He would, when he would get drunk, I didn't like how he was when he was drunk. So I would create this massive deal and let him know that I don't like it when he's drunk. So I want him to stop that behavior because I don't like it. Because I thought wrongly that it's because of that thing, okay? Because that thing is what triggered me. Now, if it's not that big thing, what is it? What is the real issue? Well, I'm going to propose that it is actually the small little things that is amiss in your everyday interactions with your man that is making you feel unimportant. So these typically are things that are going on that you just let slide. You just go, well, it's whatever, it's fine. I'm not that bothered. I don't want to cause a fuss, so I'll just let that go. I won't speak up about that. I'll just let that go. It's fine. And you don't really think about it. You don't really think it's an issue at the time. That's why all these little things are, getting under the radar because you don't notice it. But I'm here to tell you it is exactly those little things that are making you feel unimportant. So I'm going to list a couple of things now. And as I'm listing them, start thinking about, does your guy do them or does he not do them? When he comes home from work, you're the first person he goes to, gives you a hug and a kiss. When you send him a text message or you give him a phone call, if he's not busy, how quickly does he respond to you? Does he respond to you in a timely manner? Does he respond to you very quickly? Or does he go, oh, I'll get back to it later. I'll get back to it later. When he gets up to get himself a drink from the fridge, does he offer you a drink? Does he get you a drink? After you make him lunch or dinner, does he say thank you? Thank you, babe. That was really great. When it comes to making a decision that could affect you, does he consider your input? He asks you how your day was. And he listens to you. Is he doing them or is he not doing them? I'm going to guess that if you don't feel important, he probably is not doing a lot of these things, these small little things. It's never that big event, that big thing. It's all those little things that you noticed but didn't speak up about, didn't say anything because you're like, oh, it's no big deal, it's okay, I'll let it slide. So all those times, all that, every day, noticing he's not giving you the little bit of attention that you probably wanted, and then waiting until that big obvious event happens, and then you blow up at him about it. Because at some point you realize, okay, I can't keep this inside anymore, and it just comes out. Okay, your emotions just come out, and you put it all on that big event when it really wasn't about that big event. It's all on the little stuff that he was probably missing. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So as I'm listing those little things, I would really like you to come up with your own little things. Okay, what things would make you feel important? Little things would make you feel important. Okay. Now out of that list, you may use my list if it's easier. Maybe pick a couple of them that if he started doing on a daily basis with regularity, that you're going to feel important on a daily basis. So these are it's always a little stuff that's going to make you feel good and make you feel important. So pick a couple of those out, be very specific. Here's the big lesson you need to learn about men, is that men don't communicate like women do. So women tend to, because we're very in tune to social interactions and reading body language and social cues and facial expressions, we can, when we talk to our girlfriends, you probably don't realize how much of it is not said, but we get it, okay? we don't have to directly say everything for our girlfriends to understand what we mean. So the actual, what's really going on, the message is underneath what is actually being said. It could be in the facial expression, it could be everything else. But it's where we communicate very multi-layered, and we do this without even thinking. It's like, it comes so naturally for us, we don't realize it. The problem is, when you try to communicate with a man like this, it totally falls apart, because that's not how they communicate. Men don't communicate in multi-layers, okay? They are very straightforward, very simple, and they don't pick up on subtle communication cues like we do. They just don't naturally do it. So you have to make sure when you have this conversation with him, you need to speak in man speak. You need to speak in a way he will get, he will understand. So that's why you need to pick out a couple of specific examples. So for example, it could be when he comes home from work, you would like him to go straight to you first, give you a hug and kiss first thing before he does anything else, whether it's the bills, it's the dog. Okay, maybe kids, understandable, go to kids first, then it's you. Okay, nothing else, you first. That's specific, that's actionable, that's something he can do, okay? Because men think in actions, they're action takers. If you just give him something vague, like, I want you to make me feel more important, I want you to, I want you to make me feel good, like really vague, that's gonna frustrate the hell out of him, because he's like, what does that mean? What the hell does that mean, right? So, be direct, clear instructions, very simple. And then you just want to make sure when you have that conversation, your tone, your voice is normal level. It's not too loud. You're not having a go at him. It's this normal conversational level, maybe even a little bit softer if you're someone who's very dominating and can get dominating and aggressive. You just want to tone it down. Tone it down, because tonality for a guys can be very sensitive to tone. So you just want to make sure your tone is soft or normal conversation tone. And then you want to just say, babe, I don't feel important in this relationship. Here's what I like you to do to make me feel important. I like you to do boom, boom, boom. So say the 3 things or a couple of things that you would like him to do. So, I would like you to, as soon as you come home from work, me being the first person you go to. That's how I'm going to feel important. Or after I make you a dinner or make you lunch, just say thank you. Thank you, babe. That was really nice. That would make me feel important. That would make me feel good. Or if you're going to get up and get yourself a drink, get me a drink too. Or ask me if I would like a drink. That will make me feel included and important. Notice how they're all very specific and clear instructions. Don't be all vague. I know it's women's tendency, a lot of women probably watching this, but I don't want to have to spell it out for him. He should just know this stuff. I don't want to say it, right? Maybe he did this stuff in the beginning, so you're thinking, well, he did this stuff in the beginning of our relationship, so he knows how to do it. I don't need to have to tell him to do it now, Well, here's the thing. A lot of guys act differently in the beginning of a relationship to how they actually are. So that's probably not his default behavior, how he was in the beginning of the relationship. So therefore, if you don't communicate clearly that this is what you need him to do, he's not going to get it, okay? He won't understand what you need from him. And if he doesn't get it, if a guy is confused, then he's probably going to shut down. He'll shut down emotionally, or he'll get angry, he'll get aggressive, because that's what men do. That's how men behave in the man world. It's all about actions and things that they need to do. If they don't know what to do, then they get frustrated and they just check out. They'll just want to sit on the couch and do nothing because they don't really know what the action is that they need to take. So that's why you need to be really, really clear. And if you're like, I don't want to have to tell him this, well, if you want a better relationship, if you want to feel important, sorry, but that's how you need to communicate it, because he's not going to get it otherwise. once you say, this is what I need to feel important, make sure you keep the topic on point. So we tend to have a tendency to, go all over the place, bring up every single issue you've ever had in the past and talk about that. Because sometimes as women, we get all like, when we get all emotional, we really like to live there. We really like to, bring up everything because we're in that moment. We just feel everything, so we need to say everything. Well, if you do that, a man, that's just going to frustrate the hell out of a guy. A guy's not going to, if you complicate things that much, he's not going to get it. So try to keep on point, stick to the 3 things, okay, that you want him to do, stick to the topic at hand, which is you just want to feel more important. And then say, look, I just need to do these 3 simple things. If you can't do them, then if you can't make me feel important, then I don't think I'll be able to stay in this relationship. It's not an ultimatum, but you're just telling him, like, these are just simple, small things you like him to do. If a guy's not willing to do simple, small things for you, then yeah, you should be reconsidering whether you should be in that relationship with him. Because it's not like you're trying to tell him to change a big thing. It's just small stuff. Right, so it's not too hard for him to put some effort in here and, say thank you after a meal, or help you clean up, or greet you, be the first person he goes to after he comes home from work. It's not that hard. So if you can't do them, then you might have to rethink being in a relationship, because your survival is linked to you feeling important in your relationship. And these are the little things that has to take place on a daily basis, okay, every day. Okay, maybe if he's a bit rough around the edges in the beginning, okay, maybe he's not gonna be able to do it every day. But you'll eventually, just keep reminding him, being patient. If he's not used to doing it on a regular basis, some guys are not used to the certain behaviors, then you just have to keep reminding him, keep nudging him to do it, and then eventually he'll do it more and more and more. So that's my video for this week. Hope that's been helpful. If you like this video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back with another video later. Bye.